कर
Good morning, students. We are learning the second chapter of chemistry, that is solutions. And in our first lecture, that is introductory lecture, we have studied about matters, then their classification. After that, we have studied about mixtures, the types of mixtures, and in mixtures, we had studied that the homogeneous mixture is called as solution. And in this topic, we have started the detailed studies of solutions. In solutions, we have seen the types of solutions based on the number of components present in a solution. After that, we have studied about types of solutions on the basis of physical states of solute and solvent. And in that one point, we had seen that the solutions of liquids in solids. Liquids in solids in which the solute is present in liquid state, whereas the solvent is present in solid state. And the examples of liquids in solids. In that, the example of liquids in solid is amalgams of metals. Amalgam refers to mixture of mercury with some other component. You know that mercury is a metal, but it exists in liquid state. When mercury metal is mixed with other metals, it forms a solution of the type liquids in solids. So, amalgams of metals is an example of the type of solution liquids in solids. For example, amalgam of silver. Amalgam of silver contains mercury mixed with silver. So, this was the point about the types of solutions based on the physical states of solute and solvent. And after that, the new point that we are going to study today is capacity of a solution to dissolve the solute. You all know that a solution is formed by dissolution of a solute into a solvent, and this process is called as solvation. Solvation means formation of a solution by dissolving solute into the solvent. See, supposing if we start preparing a solution, what happens? We add solute into the solvent. आपण काय करतो? Solute solvent मध्ये add करायला सुरुवात करतो. At the beginning, the rate of dissolution of solute into the solvent is high. That means, at the beginning of the formation of the solution, solute dissolves easily into the solvent. But as we continue the process of addition of solute into solvent, the process slows down. काय होतं बघा, जसं जसं आपण जास्त solute त्याच्यामध्ये ॲड करत जातो, तसं तसं ती प्रोसेस हळूहळू स्लो व्हायला सुरुवात होते. And at a particular point, the dissolution of solute into the solvent stops. Here, at this point, the formed solution is called as saturated solution. See, if we go on adding the solute into the solvent continuously, first the solute dissolves easily into the solvent, but at a particular point, the solute does not dissolve into the solvent. And at this point, this newly formed solution is called as a saturated solution. So, we'll see the definition of saturated solution. What is saturated solution? a saturated solution is a solution which contains maximum amount of solute in the given volume of solvent at a specific temperature. दिलेल्या सॉल्व्हंटच्या दिलेल्या क्वांटिटीमध्ये जेवढी मॅक्सिमम अमाउंट सॉल्यूटची डिझॉल्व झालेली असेल ती डिझॉल्व झाल्यानंतर तयार झालेलं जे सोल्युशन असतं त्याला आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत, सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन असं म्हणणार आहोत. सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन कंटेन्स मॅक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्यूट present in the given volume of solvent at specific temperature. The important point is at specific temperature, because if the temperature is changed, sometimes the more solute can be added into the solvent. Hence, it is said that the specific temperature is the important point for the saturated solution. These saturated solutions are stable, and in these saturated solutions we cannot dissolve the more amount of solute. Saturated solution मध्ये ऑलरेडी काय झालेलं असतं, सॉल्व्हंटची जेवढी कॅपॅसिटी आहे तेवढं सॉल्व्हंट ऑलरेडी त्याच्यामध्ये आपण डिसॉल्व केलेलं असतं आणि त्याच्यामुळे तुम्ही जर एक्स्ट्रा सॉल्यूट त्याच्यामध्ये ॲड केलं तर ते डिसॉल्व होणार नाही. Sometimes there may be a solution which contains more amount of the solute in solution than the saturated solution. असेही काही सोल्युशन्स असू शकतात की ज्याच्यामध्ये सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन पेक्षा सॉल्यूटची अमाउंट जास्त असू शकते आणि असे जे सोल्युशन्स असतात त्यांना आपण सुपर सॅच्युरेटेड सोल्युशन असं म्हणतो. See again, a solution that contains more amount of solute than saturated solution is called as a supersaturated solution. Such supersaturated solutions are unstable and they undergo precipitation very easily. हे जे solutions असतात हे unstable असतात आणि त्यांच्यामध्ये precipitation होतं. How can we precipitate the supersaturated solution? We can just add a small crystal of solute into the supersaturated solution. After adding a small crystal of solute into the supersaturated solution, this solution undergoes precipitation, and after precipitation, the supersaturated solution can be converted into saturated solution. The third type of the solution is unsaturated solution. A solution that contains less amount of solute than the saturated solution is called as an unsaturated solution. If we see the three solutions, saturated, supersaturated and unsaturated, generally the saturated solutions are stable, supersaturated and unsaturated solutions are unstable, and in saturated solutions the extra solute cannot be added. In supersaturated solution, as it contains more amount of solute than equilibrium, the extra solute cannot be added into supersaturated solution also. But by adding a small crystal, the supersaturated solution undergoes precipitation to form a saturated solution. And in unsaturated solution, if we see that it contains less amount of solute and hence more solute can be added into the unsaturated solution. Until the unsaturated solution is not converted into a saturated solution, the solution can dissolve the solute. जोपर्यंत unsaturated solution conversion saturated मध्ये होत नाही तोपर्यंत आपण त्या सोल्युशन मध्ये आणखी आणखी सॉल्यूटची अमाऊंट ॲड करू शकतो. आता बघा, हा जे सोल्युशन आहे याच्यामध्ये सॉल्यूट डिझॉल्व्ह होतो आणि त्याचं सोल्युशन तयार होतं. मग सोल्युशन तयार होताना सॉल्यूट किती डिझॉल्व्ह होतं हे आपण मॅथमॅटिकली कसं चेक करू शकतो ते आपल्याला बघायचं आहे. त्याच्यासाठी पुढचा पॉईंट आपल्याला बघायचा आहे, तो म्हणजे सॉल्युबिलिटी. Solubility of a solution. Solubility of a solution is a factor that gives us the mathematical quantity of how much of the solute is dissolved into the solution. So, solubility is defined as the amount of solute dissolved in the given per unit volume of the solution at a particular temperature, at a specific temperature. Amount of solute per unit volume of the solution. एखाद्या सोल्युशनच्या दिलेल्या व्हॉल्यूम मध्ये किती सॉल्यूटची अमाउंट डिझॉल्व झालेली आहे ती म्हणजे त्याची काय असते, त्या सोल्युशनची सॉल्युबिलिटी असते. दिस सॉल्युबिलिटी इज मेजर्ड इन द युनिट्स ऑफ मोल्स पर लिटर और ग्रॅम पर लिटर. There are two units for measuring the solubility. First is mole per liter and another is gram per liter. The solubility of a solution is the maximum amount of the solute that can be accommodated in the given volume of the solution. एखाद्या सोल्युशनचं जे काही दिलेलं व्हॉल्यूम असेल त्याच्यामध्ये किती मॅक्झिमम अमाउंट सॉल्यूटची डिझॉल्व होऊ शकते ते म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, तर त्या सोल्युशनची solubility असणार आहे. We will just see how to calculate the solubility by taking an example. Consider that 20 gram of NaOH is dissolved in 1000 ml of water. A solution is formed by dissolution of 20 gram of NaOH in 1000 ml water, and now we have to find out the solubility of this given solution. So how to find the solubility? The unit is moles per liter. Hence, how much moles of NaOH are dissolved into how much quantity of the water, that we have to calculate. First of all, we will calculate number of moles of NaOH. Number of moles of any substance is equal to its mass divided by molar mass, and hence from the given value of NaOH, that is 20 gram, we calculate its number of moles. Number of moles will be equal to 20 divided by 40. What is 20? 20 is the mass of NaOH, and what is 40? 40 is the molar mass of NaOH. 20 by 40, what we get is 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5. The value comes out to be 0.5. And now we say that this many number of moles are dissolved into the 1000 ml of water, but the unit of molar solubility is moles per liter. Therefore, we will convert 1000 ml into liters. 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter. So, the solubility of NaOH will be equal to 1/2 divided by 1, which will be equal to 0.5. So, when 20 gram of NaOH is dissolved in 1000 ml water, the solubility of solution is 0.5 mole per liter. This was about the solubility of the solution. This solubility of a solution is affected by many different factors. The solubility of the solution depends on nature of solute and solvent. Solubility also depends on temperature of the solution, and the solubility depends also on the pressure of the solution. So, we will see what factors affect the solubility. There are three main factors that affect the solubility. First is nature of solute and solvent. The second factor is temperature, and the third factor is pressure. One by one we will study them. First is nature of solute and solvent. Solubility is dependent on the nature of the solute and solvent. The nature of solute and solvent decides that which solute will be soluble into which solvent. Generally, there is a rule that the compounds which have similar chemical character dissolve into each other. ज्या chemical substances चे chemical character एकमेकांशी साम्य असते त्यांच्यामध्ये सिमिलर असतात ते एकमेकांमध्ये dissolve असतात. So there is a saying that like dissolves like. Those substances which have similar chemical characters are soluble into each other, that is like dissolves like, and the meaning of this saying is generally the polar solutes are soluble into polar solvents and non-polar solutes are soluble into non-polar solvents. We will take an example for polar solutes and polar solvents. Formation of solution of NaCl, that is NaCl dissolved in water. Salt can be easily dissolved into the water. Why? Because the chemical character of NaCl and water is almost same. Both are polar in nature. And in this example of solution of NaCl, if we study, we find that the ion-ion interactions between Na plus and Cl minus ions and the hydrogen bonding between water molecules as well as the ion dipole interactions between ions of NaCl and H2O molecule are almost same, or they are similar, and hence when the solute and solvent have the same characteristics, chemical characters, then their solute-solute, solvent-solvent and solute-solvent interactions are comparable, and hence they can be easily dissolved into one another, and hence we see that NaCl is easily soluble in water. So we say that polar solutes are soluble into non-polar solvents. Polar solvents. Similarly, for non-polar we will take an example, that is dissolution of I2 in CCl4. Iodine in CCl4. Iodine easily dissolves into carbon tetrachloride because both of them are non-polar. In non-polar solutes and non-polar solvent, again the interactions between solute-solute, solvent-solvent molecules and solute-solvent molecule interactions are almost similar. Hence, the non-polar solute easily dissolves into the non-polar solvent. So this is how the solubility depends on the nature of solute and solvent. The next point that affects the solubility is temperature. The effect of temperature on solubility can be studied in two cases. First is a solution of solid in liquid and another is a solution of gas in liquid. We will study the first case, that is, what is the effect of temperature on the solution of solid in liquid. The solubility of a solution of solid in liquid depends on the enthalpy of the solution. कशावर डिपेंड करतं solubility? एखाद्या solid आणि liquidच्या solutionची, तर ती त्या solutionची काय enthalpy आहे, म्हणजे ते solution तयार होत असताना काय heat changes होतात याच्यावरती डिपेंड करते. For that we will study two cases. First is an endothermic reaction. As the name suggests, in an endothermic reaction, the heat is absorbed during the process. Process होत असताना heat absorb केली जाते. Example आहे dissolution of KCl in water. When we dissolve KCl in water, the heat is absorbed. That means the reaction is endothermic. And in such an endothermic reaction, the solubility is directly proportional to the temperature. As the temperature of the solution is increased, its solubility also increases. Why this is so? Because this is according to the Le-Chatelier's principle that we have studied in 11th standard. Le-Chatelier's principle states that whenever an external force is applied on the system adjusts itself in such a way so as to minimize the effect of the external factor. So, what happens in an endothermic reaction? When we increase the temperature of the reaction, according to Le-Chatelier's principle, the system adjusts itself to reduce the stress, external stress. So, the extra added heat is absorbed by the system, and due to absorption of the heat by the system, what happens? More KCl dissolves into water, and hence we say that for an endothermic reaction, the temperature is directly proportional to the solubility. As we increase the temperature of the solution, the solubility of the solid solute in liquid solvent also increases. But this is only for the endothermic reaction. What happens to the exothermic reaction? That we will see now. The example of exothermic reaction is dissolution of Li2SO4 in water. As this reaction is exothermic, it gives out heat. Exo means giving out. Heat is given out by the system, and hence you must understand that this reaction is favorable at lower temperatures. So if we increase the temperature of the solution of Li2SO4 in water, what will happen? The system will reduce its stress and the reverse reaction will take place. That is, the Li2SO4, which is dissolved already into the water, will start precipitating, or it will start crystallizing. So we see that for an exothermic reaction, the solubility of solid solute into liquid solvent is inversely proportional to the temperature. As we increase the temperature of the solution, the solubility of the solid solute in liquid solvent decreases. The example of exothermic reaction is dissolution of Li2SO4 in water. In general, if we study the effect of temperature on the solubility of reaction, we find that for a 10-degree rise in the temperature of the solution, the solubility increases twice. कितनी वाढते? साधारणतः ही दुप्पट होते जेव्हा आपण टेम्परेचर 10 डिग्री सोल्युशनचं वाढवतो त्यावेळेला. We are studying the effect of temperature on the solubility. In that we have studied the first case, that is effect of temperature on solid solute in liquid solvent. The next case is gaseous solute in liquid solvent. What happens to the solubility of gas solute in liquid solvent? The solubility of a gas in a liquid solvent is dependent on the temperature, and the solubility is inversely proportional to the temperature. As we increase the temperature of the solution, the solubility of a gas solute in a liquid solvent decreases. Why? Because we see that whenever there is increase in the temperature of a gas, its volume also increases. So when a gas is dissolved into a liquid, and if we heat it, if we increase its temperature, what will happen? The volume of that gas will also increase, and this increased volume of the gas cannot be accommodated into the given amount of liquid, and hence that gas which is soluble at lower temperatures in the liquid starts coming out or starts evaporating as the temperature of the solution is increased. अगदी तुमच्या दैनंदिन जीवनामधलं उदाहरण आहे. Supposing you are boiling a particular quantity of water in a beaker. As you start heating the water, you see the bubbles on the side walls of the beaker after some time. Why? Because this water contains gases like oxygen dissolved into it. But when we start heating the water, the volume of that dissolved gas is increased and they come out in the form of bubbles. घरामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही जेव्हा पाणी गरम करता त्यावेळेला बघत असाल तर सुरुवातीला पाणी जेव्हा अगदी तापवायला सुरुवात करता त्यावेळेला त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला काही इंटरॅक्शन दिसून येत नाही, पण जसं जसं तुम्ही पाणी जास्त उकळता तेव्हा तुमच्या लक्षात येतं की त्यातून काय होतात, बुडबुडे येतात किंवा पाण्याचा जो आवाज येत असतो तो कशामुळे येत असतो, तर बिकॉज द गॅस मॉलिक्युल्स आर कमिंग आउट ऑफ द liquid at high temperature, and hence we say that the solubility of gas in liquid is inversely proportional to the temperature. As we increase the temperature of the solution, the solubility of gas decreases. At lower temperatures, the gases are more soluble in liquid. One more example of the effect of temperature on the gas is, we see that generally the aquatic animals prefer to stay at the lower levels of the water in sea or in pond, etc. Why? Because at the surface of the water the temperature is high, and at high temperature the solubility of oxygen is less, and you all know that the aquatic animals breathe the oxygen which is soluble in water. They cannot breathe the oxygen which is present in air. They need the oxygen which is dissolved into water. And at lower levels of the water, what happens? The temperature of the water is low, and at low temperature, the more oxygen is. The third point that affects the solubility is pressure. Again we will see what is the effect of pressure on solid and liquid as well as on gas and liquid. First we will see that what is the effect of pressure on the solubility of solids and liquids. We know that solids and liquids are incompressible, that means they are not affected by the pressure, and hence there is no any effect of pressure on the solubility of solids and liquids because they are incompressible. But the solubility of gases in liquids is highly affected by the change in pressure because the gases are compressible. As gases are compressible, their solubility depends on the pressure of the gas. And how the solubility of the gas is related with the pressure of the gas, that we are going to study now. For that, there is one law called as Henry's law. This Henry's law gives the relationship between the effect of pressure on the solubility of gas solute. We will study its statement. The law, Henry's law, states that the solubility of a gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the solution at a specific temperature. काय सांगतो बघा हा लॉ असं सांगतो एखाद्या गॅसची लिक्विड मधली सॉल्युबिलिटी ही त्या गॅसच्या प्रेशरला डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल असते. सो मॅथमॅटिकली वी कॅन राइट इट ॲज S directly proportional to P. By removing the proportionality sign, the equation obtained is S is equal to KHP, and this is the mathematical equation of Henry's law. काय equation आहे? S is equal to KHP. In this equation, S is the solubility of the solution. Its unit is moles per liter. P is pressure of the gas, which is expressed in bar, and KH is called as proportionality constant, or it is also called as Henry's constant. In this equation, KH is Henry's constant. We will see the units of KH. What is the mathematical equation for Henry's law? Yes, S is equal to KHP. If we rearrange the equation for KH, what we get is KH is equal to S upon P, S divided by P. What is S? S is the solubility of gas. What is P? P is the pressure of gas, and hence the units of KH will be equal to units of solubility divided by units of pressure. In the previous explanation, we have seen that the unit of solubility is moles per liter or mole liter inverse. And the unit of pressure is bar. Hence, unit of KH is equal to mole liter inverse bar inverse. Now we will see the definition of KH. We have the equation KH is equal to S upon B. Assuming that the pressure of the solution is 1 bar, hence the equation will be as follows: KH is equal to S, and from this equation we can give the definition of Henry's constant. So Henry's constant is defined as the solubility of the gas in given amount of solution when the pressure of solution is 1 bar. What is Henry's constant? Henry's constant is nothing but the solubility of gas when the pressure of gas is 1 bar. In exams, how the questions are asked on Henry's law? Sometimes the questions can be like this: state and explain Henry's law, give the mathematical equation of Henry's law, what is KH, give its unit, etc. Questions can be asked in the exam. And sometimes the numericals based on the Henry's law can also be asked. So we will take a numerical and we will solve it.